I wonder if the Atlantic Division, Rosie, is Toronto's for the taking this year. I know every year we talk about this, but I think you look specifically at Tampa. I think they got worse. Florida's banged up going into next season. And the Boston Bruins, since last we spoke, they lost Krejci and Patrice Bergeron, both retiring. Those are two big time losses up the middle.
Yeah, big time. I have reason to believe that this division is going to be a little bit different this year. You're not going to have the powerhouses that you've had in the past, being Tampa Bay Lightning. Boston Bruins are going to look different. Ottawa's kind of starting to make a little bit of a move to start shining and get into a position where they can be more competitive. Same with Buffalo. But again, with this core four in place and the goaltending situation being fairly solid and the upgrades we made at free agency, I do think that it's Toronto Maple Leafs division for the taking. They come out to a hot start. The key is not going to be, losing two in a row, getting valuable points, not giving games away, and just chipping away at those points. And all of a sudden, you got 100 and some at the end of the year, and the other teams just can't keep up. And that's the position they want to be in going into the playoffs. And it's a long season, no doubt, but I would think they're the front runner right now for that trophy.
The Leafs have one division title in the past 23 years, and it was the 2020 North Division. So those statistics speak for themselves. Having said that, I think the biggest key for this team is the start. If you do recall, last October, I was pulling my hair out, wondering why they're losing to Arizona and Anaheim and all the worst teams in the NHL. If they can have a good October, I think it's there. I think they win this division because I think it's wide open this year more than other years. The start's everything. And we know this team has a tendency to start really, really slow, especially in this era with Matthews and Marner and Nylander and Tavares. It makes absolutely no sense because they get cooking big time in the month of November. But if they can have a hot start, I think they can get the job done here. So I actually like the value with this bet.
Yeah, for sure. And the futures are fun. My Betano account's got the futures set up down low,
Yeah.
and you like to go check them out and see that big plus money because, it's tough to pick, but there's money to be made there. I mean, I've picked Jack Adams winners in the middle of the season when you feel like they're locks and there's still great value there, and those futures can be really fun. So I definitely think if you're a Leafs fan, you're watching them jump on their bandwagon to win the division, and they're looking pretty sharp. And we'll see again. Like you said, you don't want to have that dud of in October like we did last year. But, they're looking like they're probably set to be the best team in that division. But as we know, crazy things happen. I mean, look at Boston last year. I keep shaking my head in the playoffs how they were just an absolute world class steamrolling team and they just did nothing. It's crazy. Crazy things happen.
Wouldn't that be a sick story if Sheldon Keefe won the Jack Adams next year? We as we have this conversation, he hasn't signed a new contract. Brad Treliving's now in the mix, and we'll see if that transpires. But yeah, I would head on over to Betano.ca. So many great little futures looks, from Rocket Richard again, Atlantic Division, the President's Trophy, every major award you can bet on right now. And maybe the Selkie's wide open for a guy like Mitch Marner. I know there's guys like Nico Hischier involved in that conversation now with Patrice Bergeron out of the mix, retired. So it could be a big year hardware wise for the Toronto Maple Leafs.